Hey everybody, it's Tyler Austin. Thank you so much for watching. So I just wanted to do a quick update video on this Palmetto State Armory AKP. When I first got it, I did an unboxing video. Then like a few months after that, I did another update video talking about primarily the modifications and accessories I did to it. How I polished the action, the trigger, added the SLR rail, stuff like that, the optic, and things along those lines. But now that I have about 1,000 rounds, give or take, through the gun, I thought it would be a good idea to do an update video just to talk about how the rifle is performing, in my opinion, or pistol in this case. And I'm really happy to say that I've been nothing but happy with it so far. Now, 1,000 rounds isn't a whole bunch, but particularly in this current ammo situation, it's nothing necessarily to scoff at. 1,000 rounds will give you a pretty good idea, at least in the short term, on how the rifle or pistol in this case is performing. And again, I'm really happy to say that I've been nothing but happy with it so far. The biggest thing that I was concerned about when I first got it was whether or not this dust cover would hold zero, because if it didn't hold zero, with how Palmetto State Armory did this, you would be kind of screwed, because how they attached this rail dust cover to the gun, it's basically permanently attached to the front sight tower. So again, if it didn't hold zero, you'd be kind of screwed, because there'd be no easy way to remove it and replace it with something that would hold zero. So that was my biggest concern, and I am happy to say that I have had no issues with this dust cover holding zero ever since I zeroed the optic, which this is a Holosun red dot attached to a Midwest Industry absolute co-witness mount. I know people would ask, so there it is. I've had absolutely no issues with the dust cover losing zero, not only through normal use, but through detaching and reattaching the dust cover. Held zero just fine. You can do that all you want. I've had absolutely no issues with it losing zero afterwards. After I zeroed it, I even did a magazine dump with the dust cover up like this, because obviously when you shoot a gun, puts quite a bit of shock through the pistol. And I wanted to see, even with the dust cover up like this, and after a magazine dump, I was just kind of curious to see if it held zero, and it did. So I've had absolutely no issues up to this point with the dust cover holding zero. Again, that was going to be my biggest concern, was whether or not that dust cover held zero. And again, I'm happy to report, have absolutely had zero issues with it holding zero. In terms of parts wear, I've seen absolutely no issues with excessive parts wear. Tanker magazine, 20-round tanker magazine. These things are just cool, by the way. I know ever since that Grand Thumb video came out about the Palmetto State Armory AK-74, Grand Thumb, he thought he had excessive wear on the front. I'm blanking on the correct term for this. It's not a locking lug, but it's the locking face, if you will, the right-hand locking face on the front trunnion for the bolt. He thought he had excessive wear on that part. People have to understand that you will have wear. So people freaked out after that video came out, because everyone started running over to their AKs and looking to see if they had any little bit of wear on that part. And you got to understand that that part is going to have wear. All parts that are going to move and interface with each other are going to have wear on it. They're going to break in. There is going to be some wear on it. So it's normal to have wear on that part. Now, whether or not Grand Thumb had excessive wear on his, I don't know. I've never seen the rifle in person, obviously. It might have, but as long as the rifle is built properly and is functioning correctly, there shouldn't, and the parts are treated correctly. There will be wear on it, but there shouldn't be excessive wear. I'll roll in pictures of this one, but there is, for 1,000 rounds, for the amount of rounds I've had through this pistol, there's absolutely no issues, in my opinion, with the amount of wear on that locking face. It looks absolutely fine. In terms of the bolt carrier, there's no excessive mushrooming on the little stem that sticks out of the bolt carrier, on the back of the bolt carrier that recocks the hammer. There's no excessive mushrooming on that. So again, I'll roll in pictures so you can see it. But as far as I'm concerned, there's absolutely no excessive wear on any of the parts on this pistol. Again, for the amount of rounds I've had through it. Everything else, action, very, very smooth now. I did polish the action when I first got it. I like to do things like that. I do that with basically all my AKs. I'm an AK armorer, so I can do stuff like that. I can make the actions really smooth, and the action has only gone smoother over the 1,000 rounds. Not shocking, just broken in more. Trigger's been absolutely fine. SLR rail that I have had on it. Absolutely love this rail. Nothing but good things to say about this. It has stayed tight and it hasn't come loose at all. I did install it correctly, obviously, i.e. using Loctite on all the screws and all that. So as long as you do that, you shouldn't have any problems with this. And again, if you're looking for a good free fluid rail for your AK, I can definitely recommend SLR Rifle Works. These rails, again, I've been very impressed with this rail so far. One other thing that I'm very happy to report is the gun is not overgassed. I said this in my first update video because I did shoot it a little bit before that video. The gun is definitely not overgassed, which I'm very happy to report. A lot of AK pistols, really a lot of AKs in general, particularly ones made in the United States, tend to be overgassed because Americans think that AKs are just supposed to be overgassed. It's not the case. But a lot of particularly American companies will overgas AKs because, again, they think they're supposed to be, and a lot of times they do that to make sure that they run reliably. And I'm very happy to report that this is definitely not overgassed, because especially AK pistols will be very, very violent if they're overgassed, and a lot of AK pistols, particularly made in the United States, are very violent to shoot because, again, they're way overgassed, and that is not the case with this pistol. This pistol is definitely not even remotely overgassed, and it's actually very pleasant to shoot. So I'm very happy with how they've gassed this. They did a really good job with it. Their M4 stock adapter / brace mount here has held up just fine. It hasn't come loose or anything like that. I didn't go in there and Loctite anything. I haven't done anything to this since I got it, but it's stayed tight, hasn't come loose at all. SB, I believe it's the SB3 brace, if I remember right. This is the original one that came with the pistol. Absolutely love this. This is my favorite brace out on the market. No issues with it so far. By the way, ATF, those pricks are going after braces again, so if you haven't made a comment on the government website opposing that, make sure you do so. But yeah, nothing but good things to say about this. And that's really all I have to say. Oh, accuracy. Accuracy has been, I've had no issues there. This thing is more than accurate enough to do the job. I haven't done any like hard, accuracy tests, testing its MOA at 100 yards or whatever. I haven't done anything of that. But all the shooting I've done with it, thing is more than accurate enough. I'll eventually do that. But this thing is very, very accurate. Have had absolutely no issues with it. So yeah, that is really all I have to say about it. When I put another 1,000 rounds through it, I'll probably do another update video on it. But as of now, I have absolutely nothing but good things to say about this pistol. I think Palmetto State Armory did an absolutely fantastic job with this pistol. So yeah, that is all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're watching this. If you'd like to learn more about fighting with your AK, be sure to check out my ebook, Combative Kalashnikov Mastering the AK Rifle. It's over 170 pages of pure AK content. So if that is something that would interest you, be sure to check that out. You can find that on my website, gungearstrategic.com. And a link will be, of course, down in the description below. So if that's something that would interest you, would like to learn more about fighting with your AK, be sure to check that out. I'm Tyler Austin. Thank you so much for watching.